Yeah. Hi there. Can I make an appointment to see David Simmons, please? Yep. Yeah, it's just Tracy. Christian name Tracy. Thank you. Well, I appreciate your help and you trying to do this. So this is nothing against you right now. But I've been trying to get plenty of meetings for nearly a year with David Simmons. So passing my details on does not guarantee me a meeting for a year. It took me a long time just to get this letter here from him. Thank you very much. I appreciate your help.
She's here today.
I'll ask.
So you say you're away?
Yeah.
Inside or outside in the sunshine? The church.
Right, brilliant. Thank you very much for your help.
Oh, you're all together?
Yeah, thank you. Sorry everyone, my phone has enlarged itself. We're here at Hillingdon Council, hoping to get a meeting with David Simmons. hoping to get a meeting, sorry I'm really enlarged, a meeting with David Simmons, which I've been trying to do for a year now. David Simmons is my MP and Deputy Director of Hillingdon Council. He has a CBE, which he got in 2015, which means Commander of the British Empire. He also is a voluntary magistrate, although he knows nothing about the law, but a lot about banking. And wrote me an insulting letter on the 26th of February 2020. So hopefully I can get a meeting, because my emails are ignored. My thing's got enlarged. I don't know how to make it small. Sorry everyone, we're trying to sort the phone out. Yeah, that's not doing it. Yeah, that's not doing it. It's annoying, isn't it? No, I haven't. Just enlarged it all. Sorry everyone, I'll have to leave it like this, otherwise I'll have to cut the live and start again. And whether Facebook will let me start it again, I don't know.
Bloody battery went over it.
Thank you for joining everyone. Yeah, so David Simmons sent me an insulting letter on the 26th of February 2020. In December 2019, he saw the letter from his predecessor, Nick Hurd, who was Minister for Policing at the time. And he saw the letter that went off to the Attorney General with 4 points for a retrial, although now we have 10 points for a retrial. We showed him the letter at Brunel University on the night of the general election, and he was the only one that went there that didn't check the counting of votes. Funny that, isn't it? Because he was the one who got in, yet he was the only one who didn't check the counting of votes. I was there. So he was shown the letter. He then got in early 2020. I kept emailing him to have a meeting with him so that he could push forward our fight for a retrial. He wouldn't answer my first lot of emails. I kept reminding him that he saw the letter that was sent by the Minister of Policing at the time, his predecessor Nick Hurd. He then finally, after so many emails from me, writes me a letter, which is here. And in that letter, he talks about sentencing. Now, he knows that we have not been fighting for the sentencing. We have been fighting for the correct charge on the murder of my son and his two friends, because it was deliberate. It wasn't an accident, it was deliberate. And he writes in his letter, "It is rightly the responsibility of the MPS, which is the Metropolitan Police Service, as a professional law enforcement officers to investigate crimes." Well, they didn't. That's why we've come to you. That's why we need an outside investigation and not an internal investigation, which he knows already. He then writes, "I would like to reiterate my profound sympathy for the tragic loss of Josh, Harry and George. I cannot begin to imagine the heartache caused by such a terrible tragedy, and I do not believe there is a single person within any government department or law, enforcement agency who does not respect your determination to see justice is served," which shows justice wasn't served. Let's see if I can get an appointment. It's all right, it's not on you. It's not on you, it's on me.
But that one's on me.
Yeah, who's for me? Yeah, our protection. Yeah, it's our protection. This is live and it's on me. You can come and have a look if you like. Yes.
If you just show me.
So I would like a meeting with David Simmons. Yeah, all my emails have been ignored. I've been trying for a year now. When I first started emailing him, he knows who I am. When I first started emailing him, he ignored my emails, and then eventually he sent me this insulting letter, which is this. Now, my son and his 2 friends were murdered in this borough. I've had harassment of this council ever since, but I won't go into detail with that because my main aim today is to have a meeting or an appointment so I can go away with an appointment that I have a right to, by living in this borough with David Simmons.
Can I just say, you're obviously dealing with David Simmons in relation to his as an MP, and we don't have anything to do with his MP.
Right,
status.
okay, so you can't take no meetings for him.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll have a meeting with him because of the harassment I get from this council. And I can give loads of examples of what I get from this council.
All of that would be through him as an MP.
Well, this I'll do if you can't take an appointment for this, because I can't get an appointment anywhere.
Okay.
So my only
where do you live within
alternative
the
is to
council?
find his diary and find out what buildings he's in, whether he's in Harefield Library, and go and confront him there, which is not what I want to do. But I'm being forced to do that under duress.
Okay.
Because I'm not being seen. So on the other focus then, what we'll do, if you can give me a meeting with him because of the harassment from different departments in Hillingdon Council that I'm receiving, I'll take an appointment for that then, please.
Do you live in the borough?
I do,
Okay. And is he your ward councillor?
yes.
So what I would need to, I can't do that directly for you. because
So
they
what
manage
is it
their
you
own.
can do then?
Just take a message and give it to Councillor Simmons.
Again, this is my point and this is why I've come here. You can see a year I've been trying. So it's not like I come within a couple of weeks of
All I
trying.
can tell you is what I can do. And
Right.
If that isn't acceptable,
Okay, then
I will leave because I'm not comfortable with being.
Yeah, I'm
recorded
not
and
comfortable of being in here myself, to be honest, because I've been harassed by many departments
Right, can I-
from this borough, which I have evidence to
Can I
prove.
just say
Yeah,
that-
so that's fine.
what's fine?
For you to do whatever it is that you can do.
Okay, so I need to take your name.
Right, it's just Tracy, that's my Christian name. I don't have joinder to a surname, and I won't
Okay.
trespass on a surname, yeah? So it's Tracy, what else do you need to know? Right, hold that, because I don't want to obviously give my number out. 077. That bit there is not right, sorry, bear with me. Thank you.
And your postcode.
Well, if you're going to put a postcode, I want you to put the postcode in brackets, yeah? Because there's a way to write things legally. So if you put a bracket, and then, can I? Thank you. No, the one I rang you on.
That is.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. That's an old one. Yeah, it's not that. One I rang you today on.
That is.
No, it's not. It's impossible.
Hold on.
You have a look.
Oh, sorry. No, it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Right.
This is the thing that happens to people, yeah? One of my friends as well has been barred. Obviously he couldn't come here today, but he's been barred for 2 years from this council just by telling them that they're incompetent and keeping them on the phone for 6 hours. Anyone trying to get help, that's what your MP's for. I get harassment from this council, from different departments. I've had it from Mike Liddyford of the electoral services. I've had it from him. He fraudulently allowed his office to criminally convert my name and send letters to my address that are not to me for voting. And when I queried him, he said, you're obliged to fill in a form, but you're not obliged to vote. That's deception. That's deception, people. This is the world we live in, deception. Yeah? So if you could possibly, what is it you can do?
So I can
Pass
as
that
long
on
as-
to the
yeah,
ward councillor.
Ward councillor, yeah.
Okay then.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not happy to give me your surname though, because that's.
I don't have a surname.
You don't?
Yeah.
Okay.
The surname's owned by the Crown Copyright, and they haven't given me permission to use it.
Okay.
To use it would mean you're trespassing. That's how they fool everyone.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you.
you. So, just as we thought that we wouldn't get a lot done here anyway, another friend of mine was almost suicidal because of the harassment from this council, and I'm pretty sure there are many. Absolutely, receptions are the first line of defence, of course they are. And you know, it's just a lady sitting there, and you can't say much to them because it isn't their fault, is it? They cover for them. Absolutely, they are a load of crap. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, so I've had harassment with this council. I used to actually host meetings in this council. So I know who I am, and the treatment that I have received, and Josh, Harry and George received, and other people that I know personally have received from this council is horrendous. David Simmons, voluntary magistrate, and yet doesn't know nothing about the law. He does about banking though. He's had many jobs. So let's see what happens from here. I'll get a meeting. I wanted a meeting with the MP for the boys, but whatever way I can get that meeting, I will try. But just to show you that we're still out here. Thank you, Bronwyn. How are you feeling, Paul, about today? Obviously, we haven't got very far. And how are you feeling in general?
I feel bad. I don't know whether I should call the guy down who banned me, which I've never met. I've never ever met. He wrote a report about me that I was obnoxious at the meeting, so I don't know whether I should ask him to come down.
Yeah, I
You
don't
worth
know.
another 2 year ban?
This is the thing, and this is how they do it, people. And let me turn this around. Sorry, everyone, I'm trying to turn the... This is how they do it, people, yeah? Ignore you. I've had my emails ignored for a year. I've had my emails ignored from the Attorney General, who has a letter with 4 points for retrial from the Minister of Policing at the time. Ignored by Geoffrey Cox, then sent on to Suella when she became the Attorney General, ignored by her. And this is how they do it. Construct fraud and ignoring. And they lie to you. They lie to you. Just remember, like when Mike Liddyford, and I'll say his name, said to me it's a criminal offence. It isn't, that's a lie. A criminal offence, but you get fined. It's a lie and it's deception. For a criminal offence to happen, there has to be a victim. And that victim cannot be a corporation, and certainly not a council. But this is what they do to you. Lie, ignore you. And we're just letting you know, we're still here, still fighting. And I have no choice to do what I do. No choice, because they just ignore me. So I have to come to these places, I have to go into them. And no, not this council. Birdie, the coroner, is West London coroner, but he's not employed under this council. You can't, for some reason, you can't sack coroners. I'm still fighting him. He still refuses to have a meeting to even see new evidence. He went against their own act. You know, they work in these government departments and civil service. They have to follow those acts and statutes. We don't. They're for them, policy. And he went against the Coroner's Act of 2009 because our boys suffered a violent death. A violent death. They knew what our boys died of, so why did the pathologist, who has a link to their main witness in our boys' case, take from our boys? Steal from our boys. Drained fluid from their eyes. Why? They knew how they died. It's very deep, very dark and very corrupt, people. Many of you know anyway, with what's going on now, how bad it is. It's even worse than that. It's worse than you can imagine. It really is. But listen, everyone, thank you so much for supporting, staying with us and sharing like you do. Without you, people wouldn't know about Josh, Harry and George, and I'll be eternally grateful for that. And I'll see you all soon. Thank you.
Well, can't you hold it up to your eye, John? That's it, that's it.
Hi everyone, we're outside Uxbridge police station. Now, quite a few police that night went to the scene of our boys. I have quite a few statements, many unsigned, from police from this station. Now the front of it is closed, but police are in there. They have been going in while we've been here. Now, one of the witnesses went to this station the next day around 12 o'clock. And when he was giving his statement, and he said that two of the boys were still alive, he was told by the policeman who was taking the statement that he wasn't allowed to say that two of the boys were still alive. He was told he had to say that they were all dead, that they all died instantly, when they did not. My son Josh and dear George were still alive for nearly an hour. Lies upon lies upon lies. Many lies from this police station in Uxbridge, which is where we are. I was hoping some of them may come out and then I can check their names and see if any of them were the names in these police statements I have, because I have many questions for them. They think they can interview you, so I'm sure we can interview them. Now, if you go and look at the Ealing website for the police, and there is drop-down boxes, and in those drop-down boxes it will tell you if you want to interview the police and how much it'll cost you to interview the police. It costs you money to interview them, and that is only if they consent to do that. Only if they consent. Yet when the tables are turned, it's a different scenario, or so they think. So they think. This police station, Uxbridge Police Station, is complicit in the cover-up of the murders of Josh, Harry and George on the 26th of the 1st, 2018. Now, I've been walking around Uxbridge today. I don't know if you can see it because it's going to come up backwards. But I've got a t-shirt on, the Met Police, covered up, the murder of my son. Sorry, I don't know if you can see it. So we're just waiting around and see if anyone does come and talk to us, because their shutters are down, but we know they're in there, probably looking at us now through their camera up there. I want to talk to them. I want to talk to the coppers who were there that night. I want to re-ask them about those statements. I want to interview them. Why can't we, people? Why do they think they can do that to us? What, just because they're wearing a fancy dress outfit makes them different to us, does it? No, it doesn't. It makes them no different. And they have no authority unless you contract with them. And they craftily do that. How many families have had to go through what Josh, Harry and George's families have gone through? How many? I know there's loads. And they try and block you at every avenue. Like anyone who saw the video earlier, going into Hillingdon Council to try and get an appointment with my MP, and they stated you can't do it through there because he's the Deputy Director of Hillingdon Council. Well, I'm not getting a meeting by the correct process, so I went that way, and then told I can only have a meeting if I have issues with the council, which I do. So I've asked for one. Whether I get one or not is a different thing. But then when you look at the MP David Simmons' details, if you want to get in contact with him, it's got the Civic Centre email address. So therefore, what that woman told me and what the letter says are two different things. Of course they are. Of course. So yeah, outside Uxbridge Police Station, here comes a van out. Just reminding them of what they did, so they don't forget Josh, Harry and George, because they're complicit in it. Complicit in the murders of Josh 16, George 16 and Harry 17. And I won't let them forget it, and I'll show them that I don't fear them. Let's see if they stop. They may, because they're just sitting there. Let's get the letter out that Nick Hurd wrote, with 4 points for a retrial. One of them being faked timestamps on fake pictures that the Met Police produced. Another, a fake witness that wasn't at the scene, doesn't live where they said he lived. Decided not to stop. I wonder why. I wonder why.
Keep quiet. Don't say a word. Don't say a word. protest, is it the same?
No, yeah, it's not.
He did say, well, you know what to do. He didn't know what to do.
This isn't a protest, this is a reminder of what they did. They need to face what they did and they need to tell the truth.
Not a protest, guys. Not a protest.
It's a reminder.
Come on, you're dismissed. Don't report your services.
Another one coming out, just sitting there. Not going to stop? Ask us what we're doing? No, of course not. Of course you're not. No.
All dismissed. Can we help? Can they help us?
Now, you need to show these fake constables, because that's what they are. They're not constables anymore. They're just policy enforcement officers. That you don't fear them because they think everyone fears the police. Well, don't. The police are just charlatans. That's all they are. They're not here to protect you. You've just been led to believe they are. Not one of them want to come and face me. Not one of them want to come out and ask any questions of, oh, why are you here?
I'll face you, Tracy. I won't face you, Will.
Can you show them my top? Just the top. Just to see if Paul can get it on here. Just the top. That's the top I've been wearing around Uxbridge. The Met Police.
Covered up the murder of my son.
Covered up the murder of my son, and I want the whole world to see what they did, because our boys are not an isolated case. Thank you. Our boys are not an isolated case, people, and that's why I come out and tell you this. It's not isolated, and it's so important that you get that. You've seen all those deaths in the mental health. So many of them suspicious. So many. They're quite happy to take part of Essex Industry NHS to court to say foulings. It's not foulings. It's not just that, is it? Most are suspicious. All three boys loved playing football. That was their thing from a young age. Footballers all played for Harefield United, and Harry had just been signed by Farnborough. I couldn't watch the football. As much as I would have loved to, I couldn't. And when I realised that was after their murders, QPR kindly sent all families 2 tickets each. And we went to the game. They was mentioned in their brochures that I obviously still have. And that was when I realised that I could never watch football again. When I went to that game. I do want to thank QPR for doing that. That was very good of them. But that's when I realised I couldn't watch football again. That's what they've done to us families so much. We've lost so much. But what I haven't lost is faith. Faith that we can fight this and we can beat this. And the only way to do it is to show you don't fear. Now you can see we're outside a police station. You can see we've got our banners hooked up right on the front of their building. They've been in and out. And not one come towards us. Not asking what we're doing, because they obviously know what we're doing, because they were part of that night when our boys were murdered. No time spent investigating it, Just the time spent covering it up. We won't give up, people, and I'm damn sure not going to wait 26 to 30 years for one of them to own up what they did and how they lied to this whole country about our three dear boys and everyone before them and everyone since them. Let me just hold the phone before I turn it off, because more coming out. Nick Hurd, the Minister for Policing at the time, stated in his letter to the Attorney General, "I'm not a lawyer. I have also not seen all the evidence which the families believe undermines the criminal justice process so far and substantiates their demand for a retrial. However, my reading of the original collision report and my viewing of the admittedly limited CCTV shown to me does raise doubts in my mind." Everything I've been saying for the last 3 years, everything I've been saying. Have a good read.
Constable, can you read?
Your colleagues are involved in this.
Can you read?
Don't want to talk. It's amazing how quiet the police are today. So everyone, just wanted to show you where I am. Got one looking at me there. So that you can see. Now, if any police do have the guts to come and approach us, I will put this back on. If I don't put it back on, then you know they are the cowards they are.
Exactly.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.